Podcast. Dudes. Woke as fuck dudes.
We're gonna move on. And we're gonna move on to what everybody's been fucking waiting for all night. And that's the Spider-Man No Way Home entire movie spoiled. With 90%, at least 90% of it guaranteed accurate. Hang on. Yeah, I might take that back. Let me say between 85 and 90%. All right. I'm not on the thumbnail. Fuck it. I don't give a shit on the thumbnail. I'm gonna lie. I'm gonna put 90%. But I think it's between 85 and 90%. Because if you go back, if you're a real fan, like Robo and fucking Gomer Kyle and Indy Phantom, and Brandon Ellis and Rocco and Trumpets and all these crazy ass motherfuckers who are always lying to you, taking shit out of context about me. Fuck those guys. Anyways, if you're like those guys, and you know from our very first video, we were already talking about Spider-Man spoilers.
Yeah, that's true.
Kike, from the 2 trailers we've seen officially these past 2 days, and every episode we've had spoilers. Every week, new spoilers. So Kike, from everything you've seen with your own eyes and verified and shit, do you think we're going to be 90% correct with me putting this movie together?
Fuck yes.
All right. I'll tell you all when I'm not sure and when I'm filling the gaps. But most of the stuff I'm either verifying with actual footage or with actual proof, motherfuckers. Are you ready, Kike?
I'm ready.
Well, let's spoil the entire Spider-Man No Way Home movie almost a month ahead before anything.
All right, let's do this shit.
All right. Of course, we start off the way the other movie ended, with Peter finding out on public square that he's wanted. And he runs away with Mary Jane, and they go through the subway and shit. But people are everywhere, man. Because he's all on Times Square, J. Jonah Jameson, and there's helicopters in the news and shit. And Mary Jane's freaking the fuck out because they just saw her with him, so everyone's crowding them. And so they run away and shit. But once they run away, Peter Parker, Tom Holland, he decides to turn himself in. There's no other way. Like, there's video. I mean, they're after him. So he turns himself in. And he lets himself get arrested and shit. We've seen that in the trailer already. Of course, this starts affecting everyone around him. They bring in Ned, and they bring in Aunt May, and they bring in Zendaya, and they fucking all interview them and are like witnesses and shit like that. And then we get what everybody has been waiting for, and we get Matt Murdock, who finally suddenly shows up to represent Peter, because if you know Matt Murdock from the Netflix show, even though this is not that Matt Murdock, this is the MCU variant. It looks like him, but it's not him. But he's basically the same thing. He wants to represent people with abilities. You know what I'm saying? This he's going to be the same premise as She-Hulk. She-Hulk in her show, she's going to be representing people with abilities, trying to defend them that they're not criminals and it was a mistake or some bullshit like that. And so this guy, since he has abilities, he goes to Peter and says, I'll defend you and shit. Don't worry. We'll prove that you didn't kill Mysterio. During all this, and we already know that Jake Gyllenhaal came back and shot some scenes a long time ago. He shot scenes and shit on the set. So he was seen on the set of No Way Home. And we know he shot scenes. So this fucking guy is going to come out. But he's dead. He's actually dead. The people are saying that Peter is going to have dreams during the trial. He's going to have dreams of Mysterio. And Mysterio taunting him and telling him, like, even though I'm dead, I still won because your life is ruined. and you killed me, and trying to make him feel guilty and everything. You're supposed to be a hero and you fucking killed me and shit. Peter's gonna be having bad dreams, and that's the cameo of Mysterio and Jake Gyllenhaal that we're gonna see. And so then Matt Murdock, thankfully, he actually ends up proving that the video's fake and that Peter saved the people, and he can't prove that he's not Spider-Man because there's enough evidence that he is.
Everybody knows now.
Yeah, but he can prove that he's innocent, and so they let him go free. But everything's fucked. Everybody knows he's Spider-Man, and it starts affecting him in his everyday life and everyone around him. All right, something that happens during the trial or after they win is that Peter is talking to Matt Murdock, and he's basically telling him that don't worry, kid, you did good, and you just got to do the right thing and shit. Like, he's just giving him advice and shit, and Peter thanks him and tells him, "You're a really good lawyer." And since, like, even though he's proven innocent, there's still people out there who believe Mysterio, and they hate him. They hate Peter Parker.
Conspiracy theories and shit.
Yeah, all these motherfucking these QAnon motherfuckers.
Yeah.
These Proud Boys like Geek and his crew.
Ah, fuck
shit.
you
These
ass.
motherfucking crazy ass. Anyways, yeah. And so while he's talking to Matt, somebody throws a brick at Peter in the head.
Oh shit.
And Peter's spider senses goes off. And before Peter can react, Matt Murdock reacts and he catches the brick.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And he looks at Peter and he says, "I'm a really good lawyer."
Oh wow.
And that's all we see of Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock.
Shit.
So he's at least in the first 20 to 30 minutes of the movie. Hopefully at least 15 minutes, but we'll see. So then we go on with Peter and MJ and their life, and now living out in the open because everybody knows he's Spider-Man, and everybody knows they're dating.
Shit.
And so it starts affecting people around him because he's basically a celebrity.
Yeah. It's hindering his relationships.
Yeah. So he's basically a celebrity. And what ends up happening is that since they're all smart fucking nerds, all of them, they all apply to MIT. But right away, Peter, of course, gets denied because nobody wants fucking villains and shit attacking the campus because they know you live there. Yeah.
That sucks.
So Peter gets denied to MIT. But then Zendaya, Mary Jane, MJ, and Ned, the fat kid, they get denied too. And Peter realizes they got denied because they know me and they saw them on the trial and all that shit. And so then Peter is out and about and he's stopping a crime. We've seen this. He's stopping a crime, and in the crime, the robber who robs the bank or some nurse, or I don't know what he robs something, but he's running away, the kid, and the kid is actually being played by Tom Holland's real life brother.
Oh yeah, we saw the pictures.
Yeah, we've seen the pictures, and now I'm showing you a video. What happens is Spider-Man webs him up and hangs him upside down, and he's gonna return whatever it is he stole. And somebody, one of these Mysterio lovers, one of these Proud Boys like Ike, runs up to him and he goes, "Mysterio forever," or some bullshit, and he throws green paint on him, and he gets green fucking slime on him. All right. So right then and there, Peter's had enough. His friends are fucked. His life is fucked. And he's like, "How can I fix this?" And it's Halloween at this time, and he sees the Halloween decoration. We've seen it in the first trailer of a witch, and it reminds him of Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
So he decides to go to Doctor Strange and try to talk to him and shit about fucking helping him out. We've seen this in the trailer. We've seen the whole conversation with Wong telling Strange, "Don't do it," and shit. And Wong winks and winks and shit. And so yeah, we all know what happens. They go downstairs and they try the spell. And of course, Peter keeps interrupting Doctor Strange as he's trying to concentrate and do the spell. And Doctor Strange, like a fucking dumbass, botches the spell. We've all seen it. And so they botch the spell. And Peter's like, what the fuck just happened? And Doctor Strange is like, I don't know, but I know the spell went wrong. And he goes, this is all your fault, because he starts being an asshole. And everyone in the internet is saying, Doctor Strange, he's acting weird.
Mm-hmm.
He's Mephisto. Look,
Nope.
are you all idiots? Go back and watch the first Doctor Strange movie. He's always been an asshole.
Yeah.
He's always, to the chick that he loved, he was an asshole. To everyone, he's an asshole. He doesn't, dude. In Endgame, Infinity War, he tells Tony Stark, if it comes down to saving the stone or letting you and the kid die, I'm gonna save the stone. Remember that?
I remember that. Yeah.
That's not Mephisto. That's fucking Doc. That's him. That's his personality. He's an asshole.
Character.
He thinks he's smarter than everyone. Yeah. And he obviously, if anything goes wrong, it's not his fault. It's your fault. And that's exactly what he's doing to Peter. And he gets mad and he tells Peter, you know what? This is all, just fuck off. You're trying to live two lives. And we've seen that in the trailer when he tells him, the problem is you're trying to live two lives. You know?
Yeah.
And he just tells him, fuck off and stop bothering me and let me figure this out. And he starts to meditate to figure out what happened with the spell and what ramifications go on.
Yeah.
So Peter's all like bummed out and shit. And so then Peter goes to the MIT. He goes to find the lady who's in charge of the admissions at MIT. And he figures out that she's in town and she's on the way to the airport. And so he catches her on the bridge. And we've already seen this black lady that everybody has thought
it was the mom of Miles Morales.
Miles Morales' mom. But it's not. Yeah. It's the lady who's in charge of recruiting the kids for MIT. Yeah. And he's trying to go convince her that, hey, if you don't want Spider-Man in your school, that's fine. But please let MJ and Ned in. That's what he's doing. He's trying, because his friends are getting fucked over because of him. So he's trying to convince her, let them in and shit. And when that happens, with the spell, they just botch the spell. So, boom. Fucking Dr. Motherfucking Octopus shows up. And yeah. He like I said, he was just dying in the water. So when he wakes up, he comes out of the fucking water and shit. And he's on the same bridge. And then as soon as Peter sees these hands, he turns into Spider-Man, like, with the nanotech.
Yep.
And he doesn't see him as as Tom Holland. He sees him when he's already in the suit. So he says, hello, Peter. And he starts fucking automatically fighting him because he thinks we've just been fighting. We've just been fighting and shit. And so then Peter Parker takes out his forearms. Marvel, they're smart, because even though they haven't shown us a lot, all the leaks have, unfortunately. If there was no leaks, we wouldn't know this movie. We really wouldn't. But we see the entire bridge scene pretty much. They've shown us that much. He takes out his forearms and shit, and they start fighting. But during the fight is when I'm trying to show everyone right here, is during the fight, Dr. Octopus's tentacles managed to rip the front of Peter's suit off, right here in the chest. They grab it and they tear a piece out. All right. When that fucking happens, and I'm showing you right there, because right there he has the suit on. He has a suit on, but there's a piece missing right here in the middle. There's a piece when he has him upside down. There's a piece missing in the middle, and as his hand is getting closer to his chest, the suit, because it's missing a piece, it just says, well,
the mask goes back to the torso. It goes down,
to protect the part that's empty, because you're not attacking my face right now, so I'm gonna cover my chest because that's what's missing. And that's when Dr. Octopus tells him, you're not Peter, you're not Tobey Maguire, duh. But what they don't show you is the things in order.
Yeah, exactly.
First he rips the middle part out of his suit. When he does that, the nanotech and his technology fuse, and that's why his tentacles turn red with Stark nanotech on it.
Yeah.
And he's all like, this is interesting. When did you come up with this, Tobey Maguire?
Yeah.
I knew you were smart, but damn, this is way ahead of mine. He's surprised too. And that's not in order. but we get to see exactly what happened. Is that first he rips that off of him, then it integrates in his suit, and then as he's about to fucking kill him, the suit protects us and exposes his face, and he realizes you're not fucking Tobey Maguire. And so
you're not Spider-Man.
From here on, this is where that 10% comes in, and this is probably like a 2% part of it. But this is where I'm filling in the gaps from what the trailer has shown, because the leaks don't explain any of this. And the trailer sure fucked in and fucking show us nothing.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Kike. But the Green Goblin attacks. We saw this in the trailer. We seen that the motherfucking Green Goblin attacks, and he looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
Exactly the same. And anyways, he attacks, and it is Willem Dafoe, and I'm showing a picture right now of him, de-aged, of what he's gonna look like, but you don't see this until later in the movie, and I'll tell you when. But he attacks here. Green Goblin attacks because now he's in this reality. He's like, "What's going on?" And he sees some fight going on, so he just decides to attack.
Let me get on it.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm filling in the gaps. But I think what happens here is that Doctor Strange is meditating, trying to figure out what went wrong, and he figures it out. Some villains came in from other universes, and so he goes to wherever Peter is. He quickly immobilizes Dr. Octopus. But that's when this motherfucker attacks out of nowhere. And Doctor Strange by himself is more than enough for Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin with magic.
Yeah.
And he fucks him up. He fucks Willem Dafoe's Goblin up. But the pussy runs away. That's me filling in the gaps.
Yeah.
It's not confirmed, and there's no leak. Nobody knows. Yeah. But I'm telling you, that's probably what's going to happen, is that Doctor Strange is there. He stops Dr. Octopus from killing Peter, immobilizes him, and then when the Green Goblin attacks, Doctor Strange starts fucking him up, but he runs away. And he damages his armor, and he breaks his helmet. All right? That's what I think happens. So then we go to Doctor Strange takes Peter and Dr. Octopus back to the Sanctum Sanctorum, and he puts Dr. Octopus in a cage, or in that prison. And that's when we see Peter down there, and Peter, that's when he runs into the lizard, the lizard scares him. And, and we see him for the first time. We seen him in the trailer where he's the one that smashes that barrier and shit. That's when he sees the lizard for the first time, and Doctor Strange explains to Peter, what the fuck just happened? He says, when you watch, and we saw this already in the trailer, when you watch that spell, we brought in villains from every universe. And he goes, I already caught one. That fucking lizard thing, I already caught it. He caught it off screen. Yeah. We're not even going to see Doctor Strange catch him. Yeah. He's already going to be in the cell when they bring Dr. Octopus. So they put Dr. Octopus in the cell, and Doctor Strange explained to him, like, you fucked this up, and blah, 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 blah. And from there, this is where he starts being a dick. And this is where he starts being a dick. And he pretty much tells those kids, like, this is all your fucking fault. So go Scooby-Doo this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is all your fucking, like, and this is where I don't know. I'm not even gonna guess. Doctor Strange from here leaves, and we don't see him until the end of the movie.
Yeah, because this is not a Doctor Strange fucking movie.
Yes.
It's a Spider-Man movie. And obviously he's trying to figure out what the fuck happened wrong with the spell.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that maybe he finds out it's not the spell. It's the multiverse.
I think, and Miss Me and Kike have been theorizing that he goes, we don't, because we'll talk about it more at the end.
Yeah.
He goes to the WandaVision movie, the Wanda Multiverse of Madness movie. That's where he goes to go figure shit out. He goes over there.
Yeah.
That's what we're thinking. And so, because all these movies are probably going to be happening at the same time. And so he goes to Wanda. And so he goes, and before he leaves, he gives Peter a gauntlet. Put this on your suit, and all you got to do is fire it and hit the villain, and it'll transport him to a cage in the Sanctum. Okay? That's what he tells them. And so then the kids do what he told them. They start Scooby Dooing that shit. And they get on the internet and they do all this fucking bullshit. And that's where you see the conversation that they're having with Dr. Octopus. Okay? About, oh, what's your name and all that shit. You know? But Dr. Octopus, you're going to, I think, this is me also guessing, this is some of that 10%. But I think Dr. Octopus is going to be fighting with himself. Because remember, he was good. It was the arms that were bad in the movie.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's going to happen in this movie. Where he's good, but the arms tell him no, fuck them, you know, shit like that. Where he's kind of like yes, no, and he's kind of get a liking to this Peter because he's younger and they're kids. And they have that conversation, and he tells them like you're going after ghosts and shit because we're already dead. Because he remembers dying. So, anyways, the kids figure out some way. To find out where the other villains appear, the other you know, and this is crazy because this is where he goes and he finds Electro. He's swinging and he goes through the power lines and he finds wherever Electro is appearing for the first time. He's being brought into this universe or whatever where he's appearing, and you see that's a cool scene where we see him get the gauntlet, you know, and that's the gauntlet that Doctor Strange gave him. But here's what I want you all to see, because we had already seen leaks, Ike, and you said that specific leak was fake, that you didn't think it was real. Here it is, zoomed in. He has a cell phone duct taped on his inside out suit. The reason why his suit is inside out, and I forgot to say, is because he got that green paint thrown on him, and they can't get the paint off because he's stupid. Well, I'm just going to turn it inside out. It looks cool anyways. So I think the kids are trying to tell them, you need to go to not latitude here or latitude there. And then that's where you're, you know, because they're on the computer figuring out where Electro's coming out. And I think he's talking to them because he can't be holding a phone and web swinging. So he just tapes it to himself.
Yeah.
And I think that's what, man, that guy said it's probably being used for the CGI as the gyroscope. No, it's being used for the movie, bro. Spider-Man had a cell phone taped to himself. What do you think of this?
Yeah, because you can clearly see Zendaya and the other
Ned,
kid.
And sitting there.
Yeah, they're sitting there.
And I'm about to show, and I'm showing the fucking picture.
They're seeing what he's seeing for their own, like, you know, like reference, basically. So they're a team, basically. Like they're actually using each other as a team. It's his wow, yeah, that's true. It is true. It's right there. It's right there.
And so he fights Electro and shit, and but that's also the moment that Sandman appears. That's also the exact same moment that Sandman appears, and Sandman doesn't know what the fuck is going on, which is why you see him block the lightning. Because he just appeared there all of a sudden. He doesn't know what's going on. Supposedly, Kike. Supposedly, we're gonna get an explanation as to why Sandman is bad when he wasn't before and shit, and that they're gonna say some shit that when after Tobey Maguire, that, you know, when he disintegrated or left. Because he didn't die, he just flew away with the wind.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
that they're gonna say that years later he ran into Spider-Man again, and that Tobey Maguire had to kill him. And so that's what they're gonna say about him.
Okay.
But we'll see. So Peter uses the fucking gauntlet to capture both of them. Because I mean, the way Doctor Strange gave him the gauntlet, all he has to do is fire at them and shoot them to make sure that they get webbed up. And they'll get transported with that gauntlet that he's using and shit. So he transports them back, and what ends up happening from there is that Norman Osborn decides. I'm fucking high and trying to work all this. I'm fucking up, just so everyone knows. Let it be known for everyone out there. I'm literally fucking up right now, but it doesn't matter. Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, decides to confront Peter because he's all he's got the battle damage and shit.
Yeah.
And so what he does is that he lays low because he knows he's kind of trying to figure out what happened. Why is he there? Why is there a different Spider-Man and shit in the half? And he pretends to be a homeless man, and he gets like a purple sheet over him, and that's the robe that he uses.
Oh, that would yeah.
From here on, he doesn't have, and just so everyone knows, he doesn't have the helmet anymore. It got destroyed when I'm guessing when Doctor Strange fought him, it got destroyed, and so he doesn't have that anymore. And
again, the purple fucking like thing it's an homage to the fucking cartoons because that's what he used to wear, and in the comics as well. So everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my god," like he's wearing the same thing.
So he's gonna pretend he's a homeless, and he's gonna end up going to the Feast place, and Feast is this homeless shelter that Aunt May works at.
Yeah,
and they provide food for the homeless. And he's gonna go there, and he's gonna see Peter there, and he's gonna talk to him. And Peter's gonna be like, "Oh my God, you're one of them, and I should take you away." And he's like, "No, Peter, you can't." And that's when we've already seen that this is all part of it. But he's gonna tell Peter, "You can't, because like we're all good people. Like we did bad things, and these powers were given to us, and we were misunderstood." And he's gonna lie to him and say, like, "If you send us all back, like you kill us. Like the Spider-Man kills all of us. He kills me, and he kills the other guys you just caught." And he goes, "We just want to live normal lives. Like you need to give us a second chance." And I remember Peter has already been having dreams about Mysterio, and that he killed Mysterio. When you think about it, Mysterio died because of Peter. He's the first villain. Peter's always been trying to save people because he couldn't save his Uncle Ben. He made a mistake by not saving his Uncle Ben. So he's always been trying to save people. The Vulture was gonna die, and he stopped him from leaving to save him and shit, And Mysterio was the first one that he fucking unintentionally he died because of the decisions Mysterio decided to make. And so he's haunted by it, and so he doesn't take him in. He lets him go, but he goes back to where Doctor Strange is, and he confronts Doctor Strange. And he asks him, what's going to happen when they go back? And, Peter he doesn't tell them, like, the Goblin came and talked to me. But Peter kind of beats around the bush, but Doctor Strange knows where he's getting at. And that's where you see the trailer when he tells them, "I'm sorry, kid. Their fate is sealed. They all die by Spider-Man's hand." They do, And Peter's all like, "I'm sorry." And he goes like, "So am I." And that's when he decides to steal the cube because he says, "I don't want them to die. Like they're bad guys, but we can help them. They're real people." And that's where we see the whole chase. The whole chase. Now they say, and we've seen this already in a little bit. They've released a clip already, Kike. I don't know if you've seen it. But when Doctor Strange stops him and he pushes him out of his body, I don't know how. I think it has something to do with Peter's spider sense, but he snaps back into his body. And
Interesting.
And he tells Doctor Strange, "That was cool. That was probably the coolest thing that's ever happened to me in my life. But don't ever do it again." And he takes off again. And that's when we see the rest of the chase scene, running through the city and him bending time and sending him. And Doctor Strange at the same time is trying to talk some sense into him. He's basically trying to tell him, like, look at the multiverse. And when you see the trains like that, he tells him, this is like the multiverse. And when you fuck something up, this happens. And the train falls by itself. And so, like, we see all these things. In the end, Doctor Strange gets the cube back. But it's too late. The villains are out. So what we see during all this chasing is we see, and we've already seen these in the leaks, and I'm showing the leaks already. I'm showing you the picture from the frame store. But the villains are all stuck in their cages, and the Goblin shows up there. Okay, the Goblin shows up there, and he talks to all of them, and he lies to them. He tells them that he knows how to get them all back to where they were, and not only that, but to get them back to a point where they won't die. Now, Dr. Octopus, he knows. He's never met Norman Osborn, but he can sense and knows that this fucker is lying. but because he can get them out of their cages,
He
he
agrees.
agrees. The other guys agree because they believe him. And so he frees them all, and they all take off. And they all take off together. Dr. Octopus wants to figure out what the fuck is Norman Osborn up to. Because Dr. Octopus, at this point, I think he's already bonded with the kids a little bit. The good side of him has bonded with the kids. He's made friends with little Peter. It's not my Peter, it's a younger Peter.
Yeah.
You know? And so he's made friends with him in a way, just by talking. And so then, at this point, you know, and I'm showing some pictures of Thomas Churchill, or Thomas Church, so you can see of Sandman and Dr. Octopus and Jamie Foxx over here as Electro, for everyone to see. But then from there, they go to this building. I don't know what this building is. I don't know what this building is. I have a suspicion it's either plain and simple the Daily Bugle, but I think it's what the leaks were saying. This is the new Oscorp building. This is the new Oscorp building, and in this Oscorp building, it used to be the Stark Tower, aka Avengers Tower.
Yep.
And that building is run by an arc reactor. It's the only self-sustaining building in the city. And so what happens is once Doctor Strange catches Peter and he's telling him off, you fucked shit up, now they're all loose and shit. And the kids are all like, whatever, this and that. And basically they go to where the villains are attacking.
Yeah.
You know, actually Doctor Strange is, yeah. I don't know what happens with Doctor Strange. Okay. Why he's missing for a lot of this movie. I don't know.
I don't think he's come back yet.
No.
Wait, no, he was there. You're right.
Yeah, he comes back.
He must have done something while he was fighting Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man must have done something. He probably got in a wormhole or some sort, and that's why he was missing for this long.
Or
you know when they were fighting,
one of the villains
like in a weird
fucked him up, that he's unconscious and out of the game. Because all the villains escape.
Do you think it was Doc Ock, the one that fucked him up?
I don't know. Because like I said, the only reason they're all left alone, that the Goblin goes to free them, is because Doctor Strange is chasing Peter. So, yeah, I'm a little at odds. So what happens is at this fucking Oscorp building, I think it's the Oscorp building, aka Avengers Tower.
Yeah, because why else would he be in the trailer when that's happening?
Yeah.
You know, and there's fucking news, fucking vans and all that shit.
Yeah, the Daily Bugle and police.
Yeah.
And so the bad guys are basically there to steal the arc reactor because it's part of Norman's plan. Norman tells them, I can open a way for us to go back home, but I need the arc reactor.
Yeah.
And so they go there, and this is where we see Peter reaching to get the pumpkin bomb, and it explodes. Now everybody thinks that this is where Aunt May dies, because we also have a scene where she's running holding some kind of thing in her hand.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. And we also see the scene where Happy is like looking really sad and everything's blown up around him. Okay. But I don't think Aunt May dies. I don't think it
either.
That I believe that Marvel filmed several death scenes with different actors. Yes. I believe it. Yeah. And I'll show you some proof towards the end. I believe it. But that Aunt May, that they probably filmed a scene with Marissa Tomei dying. Yes, I believe it. But that's what they're gonna use? No. Because he's already lost Uncle Ben.
Yeah,
it would be too
traumatizing.
Horrible. Yeah, it would be too horrible for them to have this young Peter Parker lose both of his adult figures. So no, she doesn't die. And another proof of that is that we see Peter with his face bleeding, without a mask, blown up and shit, telling Aunt May, I can't save them all. Because this is after all that drama. After all that explosion, after all that fight with the villains there at Oscorp, the villains leave with the arc reactor. They do.
Yeah.
And they lose. The Peter loses. And so then, but Aunt May doesn't die. He saves her, and Happy's there. But I'll tell you who dies, and it's in the
Mm-hmm.
trailer, and I don't think nobody's realized it before. Dr. Octopus dies.
Mm.
Dr. Octopus, right then and there, figures out what Norman is up to, the real plan. And he attacks them like, no, we can't. I know what he's doing. And Norman tells him, attack him. And we see Electro shooting Dr. Octopus as he flies out of the building.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Octopus turns on them because he realizes that Norman is evil and lying to them. He doesn't want to send them back. He has another plan.
Yeah.
And they kill Dr. Octopus. And Peter, since he already bonded with him when he was a prisoner in the beginning, they've been bonding together. He's sad. And that's why he tells Aunt
Because
May,
he didn't
like
fulfill the mission, like
yeah,
to
he
save
wants to
everyone.
save. Yeah, he wants to save them
Yeah.
all. Like they're all good
He can't.
guys. They just it's not their fault. They have powers.
And that's the part where he says, "I can't save them all," or some
yes,
shit.
yes. So Dr. Alfred Molina, and this is perfect of Feige. Feige's, oh, you wanna spoil the movie? You're gonna die, motherfucker. Kevin Feige said, "Fuck you, Alfred Molina. You're dead, motherfucker. You wanna spoil the movie? Fuck you." He kills him. All right.
That's funny.
From here, Peter's like, I don't know what the fuck to do. Okay, I'm outnumbered. There's still 4 of them. There's still 4 of them. I'm by myself. What do I do? And the kids figure it out because they've been Scooby doing shit. And since I don't know how, maybe there's some kind of computer shit. They're like, oh, there's an anomaly over here. This is where people are coming in. But they figure out that not only did the bad guys get sucked in, but that the Spider-Man gets sucked in.
Yeah.
And this whole time, Ned probably, we're still guessing here, because Doctor Strange got knocked the fuck out, or he's went somewhere, but Ned has the ring, the sling ring, to open portals. And Ned, this whole time, while all of this has been going on, he's been practicing, trying to get it right. When Ned starts thinking of Spider-Man and you know what? Now that I'm thinking, this might be that Ned is just thinking like, Peter needs help. I need the Spider-Man that fought these guys.
Oh yeah.
And he opens portals to their world.
Gotcha. And then he gets them in.
Yeah,
They're like, hey,
Ned,
we're in trouble.
Yeah, Ned is the one who brings in the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
It's already been in the leaks. Here is where my theory comes in, and it's part of that 10%, because this picture was floating around the internet, and in my heart wants it so bad to be real. But this one is real. These 3 Spider-Man right there that I'm showing. But the picture that I'm trying to get to, I'm fucking drunk and high, so forgive me for that. Is this picture right here. And this picture is basically, supposedly, Uncle Ben with Aunt May and little Tom Holland, Peter Parker. And they're saying, the rumor, and I hope it's true, is that fucking Tobey Maguire in Tom Holland's universe is Uncle Ben. So when Peter meets Tobey and Andrew for the first time, and he sees Tobey take his mask off,
it's like, Uncle Ben,
you look just like my Uncle Ben. And Tobey's also going to feel horrible because he knows Uncle Ben dies for both of us.
Yeah.
And I look like him.
Yeah.
So he's also going to feel bad for him. And they're going to instantly click.
Yeah, it's going to be an automatic
father and son.
Yeah. And that's very fucking smart of the people who did the story, because they're going to say, like, how can we make them, like, bond right away? There's no way that we can do that. They're going to be like, what if we make them Uncle Ben?
Yeah.
Like, that would make it so, like people are going to be crying at the end.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's going to be super fucking, like, awesome. Oh, shit.
So that's a theory there, as far as, I don't know if it's true that he's going to be that. But then the way he bonds with Andrew is that both Peter and Andrew, made web shooters. But Tobey's like, it comes out of his skin like a disgusting mutant.
Yeah.
It's nasty. when I saw, even as a kid, when I saw that, I was just like, yeah. I was like, that's nasty.
Remember
I don't
the
like
fingernail,
that.
the not the thumbnails, like the fucking like thumbs, like he would
Uh,
have like little things to crawl.
well, that
I
was
fucking
nasty too.
yeah, that was nasty
I
too.
didn't need to see that. I didn't need to see that. I mean, I know that was from the comic books, but I didn't need to see that
Yeah.
in real life. That was nasty. Um, but Toby, or I'm sorry, Andrew, they're all going to talk about their Uncle Ben dying. Uh, but Andrew is going to tell them, I had more than Uncle Ben die. And he's going to tell them, like, I don't know about this Mary Jane, because they never entered. They did. If she was in the deleted scenes in my movie that they never showed anybody. But I don't know about this Mary Jane, but I had a Gwen Stacy, and she died.
Yeah.
And Peter's gonna, because he's gonna get sad. Peter's gonna ask him, how did she die? And he tells him, like, she was falling, and I thought I could save her, so I shot my web, but because I'm really strong, I snapped her neck. When I caught her and pulled her, I snapped her neck, and that is gonna stay in Tom Holland's mind. Because he's afraid that Mary Jane could die. So that's going to stay in his mind. We'll save that for later.
Probably he's going to be now he's not going to be like telling Mary Jane like, "Oh, let's go out for a ride." He's probably going to be like, no, let's you take the bus and I'll, like or why are you doing that behind my head? Trust me. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Well,
I don't know.
Here's the cool part from here on. Here we get to the ending of the movie. Well, we already know that I'm forgetting
the Green Goblin.
No, yeah, the Green Goblin. Okay, so we see the Liberty, the Statue of Liberty, and we said it in the leaks before. The Statue of Liberty, Wakanda, is proud that the suit they made for Sam Wilson, that he decided to wear it, and then now Sam Wilson is Captain America with a vibranium Wakandan suit. And so there, to celebrate, Wakanda sends America a vibranium shield to put on the Statue of Liberty to celebrate. And they decide to do it. And so that's what you see there, is all this scaffolding on the Statue of Liberty, and they're putting a Captain America shield on her to celebrate Sam Wilson, because he just became Captain America officially. And somewhere between the three Spider-Men bonding and this, the Green Goblin, maybe by himself, maybe with the villains, they're gonna kidnap Ned and Zendaya and MJ. And we're gonna see the Green Goblin come back finally, and he's gonna be with his new suit that we're seeing right here.
Yeah.
It's the same suit, but since he got fucked up by Doctor Strange, he fixed it with whatever technology they stole from the Oscorp building.
Yeah.
AKA the Avengers Tower, Tony Stark Tower. The technology they stole from there. He rebuilds his suit. He doesn't make a mask, but he just puts on some fucking glasses. Goggles, yeah. So the bugs and the air doesn't get in his eye when he's flying around. And that's why we see him like this. And he kidnaps the kids as collateral in case the Spider-Men show up to stop their plan. I still don't know what Norman's plan is.
Yeah.
It's probably either to end all life, like a crazy ass. We just destroy all the multiverses, destroy every universe. I don't know what he's thinking. He's crazy. Norman
Well,
Osborn.
the thing is, like, he was a rich man back in his fucking universe, and now he has nothing. He's been living like a fucking poor man. So he wants some of that fucking technology so he can rebuild at least. You know?
But why are they stealing an R reactor, putting it in the Statue of Liberty, trying to cause some crazy shit?
Maybe
he's lying to the villains. Really he tells to the villains, I'm gonna send you all back. But that's not his plan. He's lying to them.
Yeah. I think he wants to go back at the very least, because he's a strange fucking man from another world, And this.
But if they go back, it's gonna send. I think that's what the explanation is. If they go back, it's gonna send them right to the place where they die.
Yeah, well, you never know. Maybe he's gonna get prepared before he is about to die.
Maybe that's his plan. He says, "I can send us back before we die."
Yeah, yeah.
to stop Spider-Man, to kill
At
him.
least for his own fucking like purposes. I don't think he cares about the other ones. He wants to help so he can get it back, you know. But now he sees the realities of being a fucking poor man with no technology, and
Yeah,
like he's trying to really fucking like get all this shit. So he's really trying.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
All right, let me show you the next scene and some of the proof, because the whole bonding scene might also happen uh half and half. It might
Mm-hmm.
happen before, and it might happen before when they first show up, and it might happen afterwards, after the Goblin kidnaps the kids, and they're like, he took them, and where are they going and shit, you
Yeah.
know. And so that's why they kind of talk or whatnot. But we
Mm-hmm.
here I'm just showing you the proof that this is real. Andrew
Mm-hmm.
Garfield's all going on and Jimmy Kimmel and shit talking about like, oh, it's Photoshop. Do it, Kike. Tell the motherfucker.
It's not real. I mean, come on. It's not real. It's not
I'm not the
real.
wolf. I'm not the wolf.
Yeah, dude. Fuck you.
But look, here it is, video, not a
Yeah.
Photoshop picture, actual video of him sitting there and shit, and also
Mm-hmm. In
Toby
different
Maguire,
perspectives.
and it's scaffolding, the
Yeah.
same as the ending scene and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna also show you because we're already getting to the end. So the three Spider-Man we know, they go towards the Statue of Liberty and they fucking go fight the bad guys and save the kids. But here is a look at Electro, and what I want you to see about Electro is I love how they're making his mask from the comic book,
Mm-hmm.
but with lightning. That's fucking
Yep.
sick
That
as
is
fuck.
fucking awesome. Yeah.
And one thing I want to show and represent, because Jamie Foxx represents for my ninjas. He's wearing Timberlands, just like a real ninja from the hood. Ah, yeah. I'm just saying, motherfucker, he's real. But anyways, nerds are saying that that little glowing thing right here on Electro is a small arc reactor.
Yeah.
So when they go to the Oscorp building, or the AKA the Stark building, Norman steals a bunch of technology aside from the arc reactor, and he upgrades this guy's suit. So he has a suit now, and he can control his fucking powers more. And it's a
And
little weird.
doesn't it remind you a little bit of the Iron Man 3? Remember what the bad guy had?
Oh yeah,
Things
yeah, yeah.
around him,
Iron Man
you
2.
know?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it was Iron Man 2. Yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
You're
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
You
So
know, it kind of reminds me of that shit. Almost the same kind of shit, but the other one had fucking like whips or some shit, but it had electricity. Remember?
yeah,
So he did kind of like the same thing. This is really fucking smart. They did something like this.
I like it. I like it a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
So I want to show you the clip that I told Kike on our live stream that didn't fucking go the way we wanted to. I fucking told him right here and there. That's the scene where they took out the other two Spider-Men. Did I not tell you that the moment?
Yeah, yeah.
And nobody watched it because everybody clicked off because it was all fucked up. But if everybody would have stuck around, y'all would have seen that I said it right there. I was like, that's where they removed the two Spider-Men, because why would they be 3 versus 1? It's 3 versus 3. 3 versus 3. And then just like always, the goddamn fucking Brazilians post their trailer and the fucking editor in Brazil fucked up and he left this in. He left the fucking lizard getting punched the fuck out by the invisible woman. Yeah, you know goddamn well that's Andrew Garfield punching the shit out of the lizard. That sucks. I mean, that right there spoiled everything. They could have gotten away with it with still making at least 60% of the people thinking, well, they're not in it. No.
Yeah. No,
everyone
right
knows now. They're both in it. They edited the 2 Spider-Man the fuck out right then and there. There should have been Tobey Maguire jumping, fighting Electro, and Andrew Garfield jumping and fighting the lizard and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. And then the main thing that everyone on the internet is talking about that I really want to get into it, Kike, is that everybody is spreading this theory that when Spider-Man jumps to save Mary Jane, that supposedly it's not Spider-Man because of the hand, that it's Andrew Garfield.
Oh, to redeem himself.
Yes, but it's not. Let me explain to you. Let me explain to you why.
Okay.
I already told you earlier that yes, Andrew tells him the story how he lost Gwen.
Yeah.
And basically, the whole thing is when they arrive, they show Peter that it is important that no one knows. Because the way he fucked up the spell, if you remember, is that he's like, oh, wait, but we got to let Aunt May know. Oh, but we got to let Ned know. Oh, and Mary Jane. And he was interrupting him. And that's how he fucked up the spell. Doctor Strange, the spell was going to be, no one's going to know you're fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah.
These two guys, by telling him the story and what they've been through, they make him realize that no one should know. Not even my friend and my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And so when he tells him about Gwen Stacy and the way she dies, that stays with him because it hurts him. He sees, because they're both Peter. He says, that could have been, that's me from another reality, and my girl, Mary Jane could die, MJ could die. And so he starts thinking that. And so when this happens, that's why in the trailer, you don't see Toby. And I'm going to show his advanced suit, the last suit that he wears at the end of the fight. It's red, and it's gold in the middle, like the Iron Spider. But most importantly, his hand is blue, and his fingers are red, just like Andrew Garfield's. So when he jumps down to save Mary Jane, it is Tom Holland saving Zendaya, because he remembers that Andrew Garfield told him, I killed her because I shot the web. So he doesn't shoot the web. He tries to catch her with his hand. And you see that in the trailer. He's taking the advice that Andrew gave him. Don't shoot the web. Catch her with your hand. Because you'll break her neck. I'm just saying, because the suit he's wearing at the end, the hand looks exactly like Andrew's. They're fucking faking your ass.
Interesting.
Now, something that I want to point out, because from here on, I don't know how the movie ends. This is the part of the 10% we're talking about. But I'll tell you one thing. Tom Holland doesn't know how this fucking movie ends. Have you seen the trailer reaction for Zendaya, Ned, and Tom Holland, Kike?
No, I don't think I have.
We'll see it quickly after this. After this podcast is over. But there's they made a trailer reaction, and they released it the day before the trailer, except you only saw their reactions. You didn't see the trailer. After they released the trailer, they released the full video with them, with the trailer being shown as they're reacting to it.
Yeah.
And you see the whole trailer, because the thing they showed the day before was like 15 seconds of just, wow. That's all they showed. Well, now they showed the complete thing. It's fucking badass, and we'll see it. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to show it here because I ain't going to get flagged, but I'll show it to you later. What I'm trying to get to is that there's a part that Tom Holland goes, wait, where is...
And then he shuts the fuck up.
and he just this.
Shut the fuck up.
And these two kids, they're all like, yeah, wow. And he's like,
wait, that
and
wasn't
then he goes,
how it went.
And then he goes, when it ends, because from there he goes,
shit.
Anyways, I'm gonna tell you one thing. Everyone's saying, "Oh, he's reacting. He's reacting when this happens. When he's jumping, and the two Spider-Man are edited out." No, he's not. He's reacting to this, and it's all it is the three villains. The three villains. It's fucking Electro, Sandman, and Lizard.
Yeah.
This is me throwing it out there.
All right.
Tom Holland said he really, honestly doesn't know how the movie ends, because they filmed so many different scenes and so many different endings. He was confused.
Good.
That he was confused.
Shuts him up.
When he saw this trailer and he saw this, he realized, what the fuck am I looking at? This is nothing like what they told me I was filming. Because remember, it's all blue screen for him.
Yeah.
Nothing is there. He's just saying his lines. And sometimes these lines, they're just like, cool, yeah, I'ma stop you. You know what I'm saying? And they could be telling him, "Oh, you're about to hit this person," when he's not. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
he's genuinely confused as to what the fuck movie did they film.
Yeah.
And he's literally, okay, everybody's saying, "Oh, look, the fact that the Tobys are in there, he knows. He knows the Tobys are in there. Tobys and Andrew Garfield's are in there. But he's confused as to what is he looking at.
Yeah.
And let me explain to you why I think I know why he doesn't know. Now, we already know from the beginning, we all thought it was the Sinister Six. Remember? Everybody thought it was the Sinister Six. And we didn't know who was the sixth member, but they said that it was only going to be 5 of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I still think that it might be the Sinister Six, because why would Marvel, somebody who follows the comics closely, fuck something up like the Sinister Six and only make it 5?
Yeah. Nobody. No.
When they have the
Fuck no.
opportunity to.
Exactly.
Okay. None other than Michael Keaton a day or two ago. I'm not going to show the clip because we're not going to get flagged. But if you go to one of these nerds and shit who probably gets paid by the studio and shit, they already posted this shit. But Michael Keaton was on Jimmy Kimmel.
Okay.
And as he was leaving, because he's leaving, whatever, he was promoting whatever movie, and he talked a little bit about Batman and his grandchildren and shit and a half. And he says, "Oh, I gotta go," because they asked him, "Are you gonna stay for the next guest?" And he said, "No, I gotta go. I'm about to start. I'm gonna start filming." He goes, "What are you filming?" And he goes, "Some vulture stuff."
What? He said that?
Yeah, and that was a day or two ago. So is he the Sinister Six villain?
I mean,
Or
obviously,
is
that
he
makes a lot of sense.
End of credit, post credit, Morbius movie tie-in?
Could be, because you would think, well, we already have some fucking, like connection between, the universe with Venom. So you would think Venom is going to be number 6. But now that you said that, obviously he's been an enemy of
So
Spider-Man already.
You would think maybe Norman Osborn, because Norman Osborn is the one who gets everything together. He investigates. I'm in a different universe. He lays low. He tricks Peter. He frees the villains. Maybe he also went and freed Adrian. Who are the villains for this little boy? I have the villains for my Spider-Man, but who fought this little boy?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense than actually this other guy who lives in San Francisco.
Yeah, with his mom in the basement, doesn't pay any fucking rent, makes videos every 5 minutes, and fucking posts 300,000 views and shit. And I'm saying it all wrong because I'm drunk and high, but I don't give a fuck.
You were just waiting for me to say that, motherfucker.
I just fucked
up. You asshole, you were just waiting. He's gonna know that he's in San Francisco. No, I mean, just yeah. Fuck. All right, the plot thickens.
Yeah. Or there's also this possibility, because I was trying to figure out what did Tom Holland mean when he said "where's," and he shut up. He knew he was gonna say something bad, and he goes, You can see it in his face. But he's genuinely confused at what he's looking at. He's all like, what movie did they put together?
Yeah.
Like, he's confused. But I think, my theory, is that here is the ending. We see Electro, Sandman, and fucking a lizard. But where's the Green Goblin? The Green Goblin is there, floating around. The scene where we see the Spideys edited out, it's not just the Spideys. I think it's also the Green Goblin and Doctor Strange.
Wait, what? They're talking to each other?
No, they're fighting. Doctor Strange
they're fighting.
joins.
Okay.
They're also edited out. That's just my theory. Because where are they? Doctor Strange will come back at the end. At the very end, right here for this final fight. He will finally show up and finally do the spell to send them all back. He will.
Yeah.
He will. But he won't show up until the end. Somewhere in the movie, he's either knocked out unconscious, like Kika speculates, he's sent through a wormhole, or he leaves to Wanda Multiverse of Madness movie. But he doesn't come back until the end.
Yeah.
And this is the end. So I think the Green Goblin is edited out. 2 Spider-Man and Doctor Strange edited it out because Tom Holland was confused.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know what the fuck he was looking at. Now
Mm.
I'll keep going back.
Mm.
Like I said, this is just we're gonna get 10% of this wrong, maybe 15, maybe 20. I don't know. We're gonna get most of it's gonna be right, motherfuckers. Just you wait. But Doctor Strange ends up doing the spell, and he sends all the villains back. We see it in the
Mm-hmm.
trailer. We see the spell exploding again. The same way when he did the spell and he fucked it up. It's the same spell, except this
Mm-hmm.
time he sends them all back, and they all die where they're supposed to. Okay. Um, and then, uh, like I had told Kike, we're gonna see Tom Holland. And I fucked up because I don't have this picture. But we're gonna see Tom Holland, uh, crying shit. We've seen him crying in the trailer. It's raining and he's crying and he's all bloody. Now, I fucking wish I had it. Fuck it. I'm gonna edit it in here. Don't worry. You'll be seeing it if you're watching this. I'm gonna stay up and edit it. You'll be seeing this. But he's crying. Now I think this part is either gonna be when Doctor Octopus dies, or it's gonna be at the end when Tobey Maguire Spider-Man dies during all this fight. Because I think the best thing they could do is if Tobey Maguire ends up looking like Uncle Ben, like we said earlier, and he is Uncle Ben, uh, then he dies at the end. That makes this all fucking like really emotional
Mm-hmm.
because Tom Holland just lost Uncle Ben twice.
Yeah.
Uncle Ben, his real Uncle Ben, and the Spider Man himself that looks like Uncle Ben from another universe.
Yeah. Now, how do you think he dies? Or, most importantly,
Norman
who do you
Osborn
think?
kills him. Norman Osborn got killed by Toby,
Mm-hmm.
so he wants revenge and he kills him.
Or do you think maybe the what's his name, the Vulture? Uh,
No, because we've seen in the Morbius trailer
yeah.
that he's getting arrested.
Okay.
I don't know how Morbius is
Ah.
tying into all of this. Yeah, this is getting confusing. Uh, we're throwing darts
I'm
at the
just saying
wall.
because like if it was the Vulture, like it would have more of an impact to him because he was already his enemy. And if he kills his fucking uncle, then it's fucking real, bro, this time, you know? He's gonna be one of his fucking biggest enemies,
And
you
they
know?
did say one of the leaks say that Peter is beaten to shit to the point of nearly killing one of the bad guys.
I don't know, I'm just saying.
And somebody then he stops before he kills him. He stops
Yeah.
and realizes that it's not worth it. It could be the Vulture or it could be Norman.
Mm-hmm.
Either
I
way,
see.
look,
I don't know.
they save the day. The villains are sent back. Somebody dies. One
Mm-hmm.
person is gonna die. But then we get the tease that we got at the end of the trailer, where Doctor Strange is telling Peter, like, everything's breaking down and they're all coming through. I can't stop them. And it looks like the sky's turning purple and
Yeah.
tearing open. Uh, Kike, I want to know what you think. From here on, we're just shooting darts at the wall. Nobody
Yeah.
knows. There's no leaks for none of this,
Mm-hmm.
including the end of credits. Kike, what do you think this shit is? Because look, if you look at the Statue of Liberty,
Mm-hmm.
everything already fell.
Yeah.
The arc
Everything.
reactor, the shield, the scaffolding. That means
Mm-hmm.
that the fight is over. This is
Yep.
the end. This is
This
how
is the
the
end.
movie is ending.
Mm-hmm.
What is happening?
That fucking multi fucking verse is breaking down and fucking Kang is coming in, motherfucker. I think
You
that's what's gonna happen.
okay? So Kang is coming, and it has nothing to do with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Do you think that the Multiverse of Madness happened in between this movie, or do you think it does have to do with his next movie, Multiverse of Madness?
It has to do with it. It makes perfect sense. It is a movie about
So Wanda,
this movie. Yeah, this
Wanda's
is a.
breaking this.
The thing is, the universe was already fucking broke. It's breaking. Oh,
Kang,
you're
because of
right. You're
Kang.
right.
Kang
You're right.
died.
You're right. But the thing, because I know what you're trying to say is like it didn't break up because of the spell. It break up because of the universe, right? Like
Because Kang died.
because of Kang. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Because there used to be one
Uh huh. Uh huh.
timeline.
But I think it paces itself. It's one little thing, and then this is like the epitome of it. You know, like this time, or you know what? Maybe Doctor fucking Strange was like he was like concentrating so much on fucking preventing this, and that's what kept things, you know, like, particularly like fine. And now this time that he's fucking spent time fighting these other fucking enemies, he's like, okay, I held it up as much as I could, kid, but this time is real.
Now, I think my theory is
Uh huh.
the reason why he's missing for most of the movie. He's
Mm-hmm.
only in the beginning, and not even in the beginning. He's in halfway through the middle because at the beginning it's all the trial and all Matt Murdock and all the
Mm-hmm.
bullshit and the kids. So he's somewhere in the middle, and then he's at the end. The there's a whole chunk of the movie he's not in. He's
Yeah.
not in at all. I mean, everything where the villains are fighting, he's not in it at all. Um, I think
So you
he
think
is.
this?
I think he's edited out of the last fight because I think he does show up at the last fight. He shows up to finish the spell to send them
Uh-huh.
back because Peter also has the cube in that last scene. You've seen him with the cube in
Uh-huh.
the Statue of Liberty. He has the cube. So I don't know, man. Like I think
I mean, this
Doctor
could be.
Strange leaves this movie to go to the Wanda Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness
Uh-huh.
movie, and whenever he's done with that,
Yeah.
he comes back and finishes to this point. And this ends with him realizing it wasn't me fucking up. It wasn't
Yeah.
Wanda fucking up.
Yeah.
It was Kang.
Yeah. I mean, that was my original theory, but the thing is, like, now that like you see two different things going on. One, the fact that he's using his magic and it kind of looks like Adam's. He uses a second spell to end things. You know, and when that thing goes, like, it looks like, the the very fucking like classic Adam thing. Like it
Yeah,
looks
yeah,
like an Adam.
yeah. But that's
And
the way it looked when he botched the spell too.
mm-hmm. But it didn't look particularly as fucking clear as this time. But
Mm,
now after that, he's like, I maybe now he did a whoopsie fuck. Like, I don't know, man. This is intriguing as fuck, man. I have no fucking clue. I
yeah,
think they did a really good job at fucking confusing us towards the end, towards the very end, because
I
everything
think
else was like
we're
a piece of
close
cake.
to it.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna involve with Kang, but we don't know yet.
Mhm. No, it's definitely Kang, because that is not magic. That's Kang
Now,
right
there's
there.
always two. There's a post credit and an end of credit.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Rumors is post credit. Like I said, Michael Keaton just said he's probably filming today or tomorrow for Vulture, or yesterday filmed. That could be a post credit to tie in Morbius or another shit. Who
Mm-hmm.
knows? But he that could be a post credit. But for sure, one of them, either the post or the end credit, is gonna involve Tom Hardy and Venom. It's
Yeah.
going to. It's going. It has to. One of them.
Yeah.
One of
Yeah,
them
yeah.
has
It's
to involve.
already, it's insinuated already. Like it's there.
Yeah.
But I don't think Venom is gonna be in this movie.
No, it's gonna. I
This has
think
to
it's
be
gonna be the end credit.
post.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be
end
the
credit.
last one, the end
Yeah.
credit. The post credit, I think it'll be. They may only be Sinister 5. It might not be
Mhm.
Sinister 6. It might be
No,
like
they have to
look,
put him at the end.
they could do this. They only
Uh-huh.
made Sinister 5 here, but the next 3 movies, the Vulture comes up with the
Mhm.
idea. Well, we need 6 of them, and he
Yeah.
gets Morbius and people from their universe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm just throwing
Well,
ideas out there because it is confusing. We gotta understand that Amy Pascal has her fucking talons in this shit too, and Feige is apparently too woke for his own ass that he
Mhm.
doesn't see the mistakes other people are doing. So I don't know where this is going.
so okay, quick little fucking like I'm gonna slip this into the rug. I don't know. I'm not sure because I haven't seen Carnage. Right? I haven't seen Carnage,
Well, I can tell
but
you, we fucking talked about it.
I know. But I mean, the thing is, do you think? Because he's already taking vacation. This motherfucker. He's on a vacation in a fucking hotel. He's already saying like, I'm gonna move on. I'm not gonna fucking like seek this fucking chick. Let's move to New York. Do you think
No,
that no?
no. The end of credit scene is they're on the run because
Yeah,
they're wanted.
yeah,
They are on a beach in a hotel.
yeah,
Uh, no. They're not in the beach in a hotel. They're in a hotel. Period. It's not on
yeah.
a
They are.
beach. When the multiverse breaks, they get transported
Yeah.
to a
Okay.
hotel in
So
the
it's
beach.
not a road trip kind of like end credit fucking like after scene where they're gonna move to fucking New York to fucking forget about what happened in San Francisco. Uh, I don't know. They're gonna have to fucking eventually go to fucking New York. That's for sure. Uh, so I
Mm,
it's confusing, man. We need to fucking do a little bit more research.
No,
And
there's nothing. Look, there's not. Everyone thinks there's going to be a third trailer. This movie's a month away. There's not going to be a
yeah,
third
I know,
trailer.
yeah.
There's probably going to be one or two clips, and it's going to be shit we've already seen from the trailer, like a complete little scene, like maybe Doctor Strange and Peter talking, or it's going to be fucking Doctor Octopus talking with Peter. But it's going to be shit they've already shown us. It's just going to be complete nonstop for like 10, 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Uh, it's not going to be anything new, man. And I guarantee you, none of this advertisement will ever show Andrew and Toby.
Yeah.
None of
That's
it.
true. Yeah,
None
yeah,
of
yeah.
it. Because at this point, the cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, that's true. That's
They're
very
not
true.
going to show them, unfortunately.
Hey, like shit like this, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel and check out the full podcast on the link to the right where we discuss more topics we don't post on these short videos. Peace.